Hey guys, this is Spectral Sailor, and myself and Jason are here. Tonight we're going to be interviewing Courtney Eastman, and she is the author of A Ringing in the Night, which is featured in The Feminine Macabre. I'm going to tell everybody hi.
Hi, guys.
Let me see if I can find the comments. I see people. We're going to ask her some questions and pick her brain and see what took her to the point of writing her story. And I haven't read it, so I'm not gonna lie. I want to kind of know what it's about, sort of. So, um, why don't you tell us when you started writing?
So I started writing at like a pretty young age. It was like the one thing that I gravitated towards. Um, like instead of like reading or whatever, I was just always scribbling or like doodling in notebooks. So I just kind of put it to the side. And over quarantine, I recently kind of needed something to do. So I started writing about the spooky travels that I went on and about like all the haunted locations near me, the ones that I've been to, and some pretty interesting dark history facts that I've been into. So I created like a little Instagram called the Ghoul Guide, and it's just my little love for the paranormal and all things spooky.
I thought that was a really cool name when I saw it too. The Ghoul Guide. I was like, man, that sounds like something that I would just like verbally be like. I do dream journaling, and it sounds like something I'd be like, "This is my little ghoul guide for when I'm dreaming creepy dreams, so I know what's going on in my head when I'm asleep."
They like the name kind of like hung out in my brain for like a week and a half before I actually did anything. So I don't know. I just love the names. My sister was like, "Why do you call them ghouls? It makes them sound like they're ugly or something." I was like, "No, it's just a fun little name."
Yeah, I guess some people see ghoul as like a scary thing or whatever. I think if I say hello boils and ghouls when I'm on our Night Terror Collective page, sometimes if I'm doing like live readings, I'll say hello boils and ghouls. I don't know. I just think it's funny. But Adam says hello, and Daryl says hi from Wolf Whisper Paranormal.
Hello.
Hey
Awesome.
guys.
So you want to tell us like about what area you're from?
So I'm from Buffalo, New York. I'm like literally like on the outskirts of it. So over in like Western New York, we have like the big haunts like the Statler, Iron Island, Rolling Hills Asylum is only about like 45 minutes away from me. So, and Hinsdale is probably like only like an hour from me. So I'm kind of like surrounded by a whole bunch of like spooky locations over here.
Yeah, that's an interesting area.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting one.
I
Oh,
am
cool.
sharing.
All right.
Jason has written some things too, also.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm working on a book right now. But in between that, I wrote a children's book. It's called the Little Ghostly Ghost, and it'll be on Amazon and stuff too. But
Oh, that
uh,
sounds so cool.
yeah. So how far have you traveled to visit a haunted location?
I would say about 9 hours. I
Mhm.
just got back from a little Kentucky tour, as I like to call it.
Oh yeah.
I recently did a overnight investigation at Waverly Hills,
Yeah.
and then on the way home, I stopped at Bobby Mackey's and Fairfield, and I was just kind of like hitting all the locations on the way home. So as of right now, like 9 hours is kind of like my drive total.
Wow. Okay. So what you obviously everybody knows about Waverly, but what did you think about Bobby Mackey's?
Bobby Mackey's was actually like a little spooky. I tried to separate myself from like everything I already knew about it to what the tour guide was going to tell me because I had a private tour. So we did a lights off tour and it was just really weird. Carl's apartment was probably like the most comfortable I've ever felt in. And then anywhere else you went in the building and even like in the basement area, I just had my guard up the entire time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I know there's been lots of shows that's gone there, and everybody wants to know Ghost Adventures, for being there. But Yeah, I always thought that was an interesting place. I wanted to stop and check it out. I haven't been there. I haven't been to Waverly, but looks like that's about to change. So
Ooh, you're gonna love Waverly. The trip that I did, I was like 20 years in the making. So I've been wanting to go to this place ever since I was like 8 years old. So when we went, I just couldn't believe the things that we had happened. We had like door slams. We heard doppelganger voices all night. I heard two disembodied voices like right by my ear. It's like the wildest thing that ever happened as like a paranormal investigator. So it definitely lived up to its reputation.
yeah. Were you intimidated by the size of the building when you first got there? Kind of like, wow, this is massive.
Yeah. I went
Yeah.
I went to a day tour the day before so I could get like the historical and I can get all my day shots and just kind of get my nerves out for like
Yeah.
the investigation the night after. And rolling up, like driving up the driveway, I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
We have some questions.
Oh, cool.
Is Ellis Island near you?
Ellis,
Ask about Ellis Island.
Ellis Island, that's actually on the other side of the state. I'm near
Okay.
Iron Island. So Iron Island is the one haunted location that we have that was a church turned funeral home turned into a little museum for the community that it's in. That one's also pretty great. So whoever wants to check that out, please do.
Adam asked that question, and then we have hello from Wolf Whispers Paranormal. Hello from the UK. Hello from Pamela. Hello from Rob, Marjorie, Rob. And another question: can shadows follow a person from house to house?
I mean, if you have an attachment, I don't see why not. I know the shadow figures that I've seen, they've only been like in my house or in the locations that I've been to. I've never like seen one outside of a place where they shouldn't have been, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I can see them moving back and forth if you have an attachment, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Hello from Long Island, Suffolk County Paranormal. That's what I think. That's what somebody said.
No, I think.
Go ahead.
I think they can follow. Yeah, I think they can. Kind of sort of what you're saying is, they can follow you. Any type of attachment, or just the location you're in. They're already there. That's the thing about any type of spirits or entities or whatever you want to classify a shadow person is. They're there all the time. They're always there. They're all around you all the time. So
I'm answering questions. Sorry. One question that Jason had came up with these questions that he found like from podcast bloggers and stuff like that, and it was like a list of questions that you ask in interviews. It wasn't like your normal questions that you always get asked. What is something that motivates you to get up in the morning and do what you do?
Iced coffee, hands down.
Iced coffee. Iced coffee with a little ghost in the top of it. I haven't had one of those yet, but I always see them.
Yeah, mine's definitely. You talk about caffeine is monsters. I wish we had an endless supply of monsters. Maybe that'd be a sponsor for Not Terror Collective there, Rosie.
A lot, like a monster, a literal monster, or a ghost monster.
No, I'm talking about Monster, the drink, the energy drink.
They could have one though. What I mean is like with a ghost on it. You said like for Not Terror Collective, so I was thinking something like a Bigfoot or a UFO on one because I haven't seen that on one of those yet. I've seen skeletons and stuff and like butterflies, but I haven't seen anything with like ghosts or paranormal like UFOs or skeleton. Well, I have seen skeletons like Day of the Dead ones, but I haven't seen a Bigfoot on one. We should, message them, Jason. Ask them about that. So you said the Feminine Macabre is out, and I don't have a copy of it, but I really want to get one because I want to read all of you ladies' stories and stuff in there because I'm kind of a feminist myself. But you said it came out. Do you remember the date that it came out?
It came out March 8th on International Women's Day. So that was
Oh,
a
really?
huge little celebration for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a journal written by 29 other girls, and you can find it on Amazon, or you can message the wonderful Spook Eats if you are a fan of her. She is in charge of like um all the orders and stuff, and she's actually accepting for journal number 2. So you have if
I thought
you
about, yeah, like
yeah,
putting a piece in there or something like that.
totally
That'd be
do it.
cool.
I can tell you from experience that I did not expect to get picked, especially
Hmm.
having like 3 rough drafts of what I was actually going to do before I decided on this
Hmm.
piece. So yeah, if you like hear this little talk that we're having today and you want to like get your voice out there in the world of the paranormal and you're a female, totally go for it because you never know what can happen and like what doors can open.
Yeah, she had done an interview on Paranormal United Network before once with I think it was the Unexplained Files interviewed her. I'm not sure. It might have been more than one show that interviewed her, more than one host. And when she was on there, I was watching that. And then when she had said the name of that book, that's how I found you. I looked at the book and you popped up.
Look
So
at
I was
that.
like, I'm gonna talk to some of the girls that like put their stories in this book because I just feel kind of like, I don't know, kind of like this like hocus pocusy, like practical magic, like, unity of females and paranormal stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it's super cool. And it's really cool to like see everyone's different views on it. Like you all know, like we all have like similar views in the paranormal, but like when you break it down to like the little sections under the paranormal, like everyone else has like different theories and like different ways of looking at things. So it's just pretty cool to like have
Yeah.
all these different people make a journal and just see like how far it's taken so far. Like it's pretty like it's really cool. It's like
Should be
such an
some
amazing
diversity.
experience to be a part of.
I'm gonna pull up some questions and comments real quick. I think most shadow people or spirits can go where they want. Some probably are stuck in places, but for the most part can go anywhere. Just my opinion. I think I agree with that.
Oh yeah, totally.
Adam said, Jason, he will buy a Bigfoot or an alien drink to collect. Maybe we should contact an aluminum factory and make our own drink. Sometimes can God be giving people a warning from the spirit world? Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you see something that you think is a coincidence or more than a coincidence, or you see numbers like angel numbers, or if you keep seeing a name everywhere that you go, like this is really weird, but I used to work with Jason in security, and I worked second and third shift. I flopped back and forth, and my number was 817 on the radio. So it was like 817 to, surveillance, blah, 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 blah. I see that number every single day of my life, everywhere that I go. And I can't explain why, but I do. So it can't just be a coincidence.
Yeah, she points it out all the time.
Yeah. My license plate's in front of me when I'm stopped at a stoplight. I mean, how random is
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah. Those
That's
are
pretty weird.
those are definitely signs.
Hey, Jeremy and Rob and Adam.
Rob.
They're like, Jeremy, Rob, yelling at each other.
It's funny.
Um, Adam says, been watching your podcast. That dude from Hollywood Haunts is funny as hell. I think he's talking to Jeremy. Right, Jason? He's not
Yeah,
talking to you, is he? Hollywood Haunts?
yeah, I think so.
I like that. He says, I'm strong in my faith and I do not fear evil. That's a good, like, foundation and strong self conviction to have, Rob. I think, especially if you work in the paranormal field, because there's a lot of stuff to be scared of, in my
Sometimes.
opinion. I
That
mean, a
is
lot of
very
people,
true.
yeah, a lot of people don't even set foot in a place that you tell them it's haunted. They won't go in. So, um, so where's some of the places that you've been? I know you've been to Waverly, right?
Yes. Yeah, and right now on my Instagram, I'm talking about Bobby Mackey's. So I just started that this week. I've also been to Madison Seminary, Fairfield County Infirmary. I did a tour at Ohio State Reformatory on my way down to Kentucky. And then I've just been kind of hanging out in New York and doing all our little haunts out here. So I've definitely been to Rolling Hills a couple of times. That's like one of my favorite places here. Um,
The Madison Seminary place, Jeremy actually has talked about several times.
yeah, it was very spooky. I just did a tour there. I have to go back and actually investigate, but it was just me and another female hanging out. She was giving me a fantastic tour, and we were up in the asylum, and we actually heard a male voice coming out of the stairway.
Yeah, Madison.
Yeah, at Madison. I
I don't
couldn't
really
hear
know a
what
lot
it
about that
said.
place.
Yeah,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
couldn't
Sorry.
hear what the voice said, but she heard it enough to like spook her for a minute.
Oh, yeah. And it's an asylum?
Yes, the third floor. So like they say it's storage, but it definitely was an asylum of some sorts where they would hold patients up there.
What very, very top best locations done, guys? And I think they're asking what is your top location, your favorite.
My top location, as of right now, would definitely be Waverly. The experiences that I've had there, and just the weight of wanting to go, that whole night just kind of like sealed it as number one top place. We'll
Yeah.
always we'll always recommend it.
Did you feel like from your own personal experience? Like I know that there's activity there. It seems like anytime any group goes through there, there's activity. But like just your own personal experience. Like usually, I feel like the wait for me is to go somewhere and not know what I'm curious and excited about what my own personal experience is going to be in a place. Like, did you feel like you had a good experience there?
Oh yeah. Um, like I had a few things that creeped me out. Like I saw a couple shadows that I did not like, but other than that, like I really couldn't. I couldn't not walk away with that place without a smile on my face at 4:30 in the morning. So, um, yeah, I'd say like my experiences there were pretty good. It's not what I expected, but it was a little bit better than what I expected.
Was it?
It was. I had a whole mantra going in for like the week. I was like, I'm ready for the disembodied voices. I'm ready for the shadow people. I'm ready for everything. And that night I heard two disembodied voices, one that we actually captured on an EVP
Mm-hmm.
that my friend Charisse is premiering on YouTube tonight. So if you guys want to watch part of our investigation, you can go there. Um, but yeah, we heard that, and then if you go on my page, there's a video of us in the body shoot, and you can hear the EVP that I captured of the door slamming on us and all of us screaming afterwards. Uh, so I don't know, like I definitely like we're already trying to go again, so I'm definitely like on
Yeah.
board, ready to go.
Sometimes I feel like I haven't finished business at a place and I didn't get to exactly do everything that I wanted to do because you only have so much time and you can't control what happens there. You know what I mean? If they're ready to
Yes.
talk, they're ready to talk. And if they're not, they're not.
Yes, and the night flew by so fast. Like we did an hour-long Estes method session from like the get-go. So that ate up like an hour of our time, and then after that everything just went by so fast. So we were like trying to play catch up, and we all said we were going to do solos, but like no one did solos. I wanted to spend some time alone, but I didn't. So like now, like being home 2 weeks after the investigation, you're kind of just like, I would have done that differently, and I should have done this. I
So
should have
next
done
time I go
that.
back, I will do this and I make a plan
Exactly. I'm already
and
making
try to
plans for
stick to
everyone
it.
next time.
Someone said, I'm trying to find people that would be interested in going to Katie's Bar in Smithtown, Long Island. If I lived super close to you, I would so go, or close at all, I'd go with you.
I
Um,
wish I lived on that side of the state.
yeah, I'm not familiar
New
with
York
that
City
place.
is like 8 hours away from me. That's how long New York is. So it's quite a hike to get out there, but maybe someday.
I've heard about Katie's Bar a few times from Trinity Paranormal. I've heard the name of it, but I don't know anything about it.
Pretty sure it was on Ghost Adventures,
Was it?
and I think there were like wine glasses falling off, from what
Yeah,
I know. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on
I'll have
that,
to
but
look it up.
I feel like there's like bar like wine bottles or wine glasses moving.
So the spirits were having spirits. Or they wanted to have spirits, anyways. Hey, Patty Joe. Yes, I was asking Kat if she and Chris would be interested in going to Katie's bar. It would be interest. I'd be interested. And Patty Joe says hello. And then Pamela was asking what was the name of the book again. I typed it in, but if you want to say it, you can.
The book is called The Feminine Macabre. It's on Amazon for about like $18, I want to say. It's a very, very cool journal of myself and 29 other ladies in the paranormal who are like investigators who own haunted locations or who are very into tarot and the science aspect of paranormal investigating. So it's definitely worth a read. And if you want to join in on all the fun, she is accepting submissions for volume 2 right now up until June. So
However, you must be a female. Right? You have to be female, right?
Yeah.
It's just female.
Or
right.
identify as one.
At this time. Would you people go in the deepest forest all alone at night like I do? Is that like just a deep forest in general? Or are you talking about the one forest, like the suicide forest? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I mean, I would. Obviously, being in Oklahoma, we go in the woods alone all the time. So, it wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary.
And Rob said yes, it was glasses getting knocked off there. Hey, Sydney.
I don't think I would go in the woods alone. I don't think. I'm from the city, so I don't know how to survive in the country.
It would depend. It depends for me, like what woods it is, if I've ever been there before. If I haven't been there before, what I have on me at the moment that I'm going into the woods, like survival gear. Do I have everything I need?
Is it going to be like Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, I mean, if it's that situation, I don't know. Unless I'm getting paid a lot of money like they do, then I might not go. Hey, Sydney.
What's in?
Thank you. Sounds really interesting. She'll definitely check it out, she says. And she's female. If you're a female and a writer, you might submit a small short story then, Pamela. Let us know if you're interested in coming here. He's talking to anyone, I guess, that lives nearby or whatever, that he wants to go to Katie's bar. And we have hey, Sydney, and hey, Adam. I'm going to say hey, everybody. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Not the writing question, but what got you into the paranormal?
Oh, well, I actually live in a haunted house. Well, I grew up in a haunted house. I around the age of 8, I remember seeing a face out my second story window in the middle of the night, and that scared the absolute bananas out of me. So that kind of is what got me going. And then I kind of grew up around cemeteries as well throughout my life. There was one across the street from my grandma's house. And then at the edge of my childhood street, there's about a mile and a half long of just cemeteries on the main road. So I constantly go by it. I constantly see it. So it's kind of just always this weird little thing that has been in my life.
Yeah. So you had a macabre life, sort of, her surroundings, anyways. She's going to put in a submission. You should. I think I will too. Even if it didn't make it in book 2, then I bet you if she had enough good stories, she'd make a book 3 because she's already making a book 2 before the first one was even out. She said,
I have a feeling this journal is going to be around for a long time. So if you don't get in on submission 2 or 3, there's always going to be 4 and 5 down the way.
That would be awesome. I'm sure if she keeps getting submissions too, then that'll motivate her to keep publishing.
Oh, exactly.
So I thought, go ahead.
Since you made it into this journal, and it's exciting and all, but are you going to continue to write, or are you going to?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to try to do another submission for this. and we'll see what happens with that. But if not, I kind of like have a mini blog as it is over on Instagram. It's kind of like the platform that I use the most, and I'm just more active over there. Um, but for summer, I'm kind of trying to shoot for actually making a blog of my own, so I can like have like a full on website and just update it as I go. But it's a little tricky with my day job, but I'll find a way to make it work. So I'll definitely still be writing after this, and I'll be, just trekking along with all my little haunted locations and fun facts about them.
Adam asked if you are just ghosts and if it's just ghosts and haunted things you're into. Are you into aliens and Bigfoot and stuff like that?
I love the cryptids. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know enough about them as I feel like I should. But aliens do freak me out a little bit. Every time like they're really brought up like in depth, I get a little sketched out, just because I kind of know that. Like I don't want to say like I know that they're here, but it's like a little spooky just like thinking about just aliens like hanging out and the universe and like popping in for visits every once in a while.
I think it is, but I think if we knew where they were and we had technology, we'd totally be spying on them. You know that we would. We spy on each other.
100%.
Humans spy on each other, so you know that we'd spy on aliens.
I remember like I think like there was this alien autopsy on video or like on YouTube that I looked up when I was like maybe like 11 years old, and that's maybe like why I'm so afraid of them. But yeah, anytime aliens kind of come up, I'm just like, ugh, that's just a real back.
I'm like obsessed with aliens. I've been since I was in high school, even more than ghosts for a long time. All through high school, all 4 years of high school, I was obsessed with aliens. Like I just was like, they exist. Aliens exist. But I watched a lot of X-Files and stuff. So I mean,
I really got to get into the aliens because my sister moved out to Vegas about like almost 2 years now. So that's where all the alien stuff is. So I got to start brushing up on all my alien knowledge and history and see what's hanging out there in the Vegas little mountains.
Daryl said, no one has talked about apes or cavemen, cave women, dinosaurs, or dragons on the shows. I haven't heard anyone talk about dragons actually on any of our shows. I'm not saying they haven't, but I haven't heard anyone talk about dragons or dinosaurs. That's true. Or cavemen or apes, unless you classify cryptids of the class of Bigfoot as apes. That's a good point, Daryl. There's just a couple comments back and forth between everybody. And Jeremy said, people creep me out. Amen. Amen.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Never trust the living. I have a t-shirt that says that. Never trust the living. They just discovered a new species of dinosaur. What is it called? I don't want to ruin this, but if you haven't seen Godzilla versus King Kong or Kong, you have to see it. Just talking about dinosaurs, I won't say a lot more. Watch it. It is really awesome, and it really opens up the universe for a lot more King Kong or Godzilla movies, and that's all I'll say. So, but it was really good, and I want to watch it again and again and again, probably several times more.
So, in your investigations, do you think you've ever felt like something's followed you home?
I haven't felt like anything's followed me home, but my friend Chucky, who kind of, I don't want to say like believes he's a sensitive, he's starting like to develop his gift. He said that a doctor from Waverly has actually followed me home. And I actually showed him a picture of one of the doctors, and he said it was spot on. So apparently, I have the medical director hanging out with me, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what he really wants, but I mean, if that's the case, it is actually hanging around, then I'm all for it. Just leave me
Maybe
do my stuff.
Maybe you feel like a familiar feeling for him.
What was that?
Maybe you have a familiar feeling to him, like you remind him of somebody.
Yeah,
Like when he was alive or something.
yeah, my friend Chucky said that he was kind of just like hanging out. He thought that what I was doing was pretty interesting. He knew that I had a respect for the building, and that I was coming in already knowing that this place is haunted, and like I didn't need anything to like really prove it to me that this was haunted. So yeah, I don't know. If he's hanging around, then he's hanging around. I don't really mind it. Just don't mess with me while I'm sleeping, and we'll be
Yeah.
friends.
I was gonna say something about him touching you when you're sleeping or when you're not like paying attention and it like freaking you out or whatever. Someone asked Wendy, which is someone that we know. I've went on an investigation with her at the Fee House. She says, "What is the scariest paranormal investigation or your favorite investigation you have been on?"
Um, so I don't want to keep repeating myself because I'm just gonna keep saying Waverly. Um, but Waverly was the most exciting and the scariest one to me. If you go on my Instagram, I have my handle in my name. You can see a video of like one of the most terrifying moments that we've had. So my intuition was very spot on that night,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in the body chute, or the body tunnel, whatever you want to call it, and we were against the wall with our backs up against it, and we were on the step portion of it, and I was the last one standing, and so my view was from the entrance to the hallway, like there's a little hallway before it slants down, so that was my entire view. And the entire time we were there, I could not stop looking over to that side, and I just kept thinking that either
Something was there.
yeah, either
Yeah.
someone was gonna poke their heads out, or they were gonna chase us down to the bottom of the tunnel, which would have been fine.
Oh my
But
god! Not if you're stuck in it by yourself, though.
yeah, and that's the only that way
Ooh.
is the only way in and out of this thing.
Oh my god!
So and the way you run is the way you have to come back up, and that's 500 feet at a 45-degree angle, and it's just pure hell. So I was like, something's gonna happen. I don't know. I just felt really sketched out. So in the EVP that we recorded, not even a minute into it, like as soon as the recorder switched over to a minute, you can just it's dead quiet, and all you hear is just a boom, and you hear us all screaming. It's the screaming is honestly my favorite part of the recording.
Because everybody was really afraid. It was like a real scared
Oh,
scream.
we were all terrified. Oh, mainly because we were standing there, and on the recording you can hear someone go shush, and we all quiet down because someone thought something was happening at the far end of the tunnel. So we all quiet down, and there's like at least 8 seconds of just pure silence, and then you hear this loud thud, and you just hear us all screaming, and someone's like, "What was that? I don't know." And it was just like so chaotic in that moment. And from that moment of the door slamming on us started a 45 minutes of just pure chaos within the hospital for us. We heard giggling, we heard chairs moving. Um, we were going towards the lobby, and we were hearing voices. We kept calling up to our friends who were somewhere in the hospital, and we're like, "You have to answer us, you have to answer us." And no one was heard. And then they finally like poked their heads down like 10 minutes later, like, "What are you guys yelling about?" And we're like, "You guys didn't hear anything? Like, you didn't hear a chair move, you didn't hear the giggling, blah blah blah." So it was just such an insane moment that I'm so happy that I caught on film, like on
Yeah.
audio, because I was the only person to catch that on audio.
I bet you'll find a lot more nuggets as y'all dig through the rest and scrub through the rest of the evidence too.
Yeah, we are. My friend Charisse, who's doing the YouTube tonight about our investigation, she actually caught 2 EVPs. One of us in the OR saying what I believe sounds like "I am a doctor," and then she caught one
Mhm.
later in the night when we were doing the Waverly challenge, and caught the disembodied voice that me and her heard, and you can both hear us say like, "Oh, didn't you just hear that? Wasn't that someone?" And everyone's like, "No, we didn't hear it."
Uh-huh.
So
That's cool.
it was a very, very interesting, like exciting and very scary night.
Someone asked if you would buy a Chucky doll.
If I would, no, absolutely not.
And Jason, I can already say he'll say no because he hates dolls.
No.
I don't know though. You like scary movies, so would you buy a Chucky doll? Jason?
No. No dolls.
I don't think so. And Jeremy says the new dinosaur that was discovered was Lacalcan aleocranianus, and it's a T-Rex family or a T-Rex like dinosaur.
Wow. I don't think I could have ever said that.
Hopefully, I didn't butcher it, but who's going to tell me that I did? A paleontologist, you know. Did you take a tour of Bobby Mackey's and did you get to investigate? Adam said.
Yeah. So I got a private tour of Bobby Mackey's on my way out of Kentucky, and we actually did investigate. I wasn't expecting to. I kind of didn't want to investigate only because I've heard of like so many negative things happening there that I didn't want to be like, hey, let's talk and like come hang out with me after.
Come torture me.
So I didn't. I it's like as silly as it sounds. I really didn't want to like talk to anything that's there. I know that's kind of like ridiculous, knowing that I am a ghost hunter and I should be doing this, but yeah. But we actually did investigate a little bit. It was quiet. It was a little spooky, and when we were talking about Carl and talking about his favorite place in the bar and his apartment, we started getting hits on the temperature meter on the SB7T.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little interesting. But yeah, the basement in Bobby Mackey's, like the whole basement area just freaked me out. The second we walked in, I wanted to go home. I was like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Like, what are you doing? But I mean, looking back on it now, I'm very happy that I went.
Yeah.
Very happy that I experienced it. Maybe I'll go again. We'll see. But
so you would recommend it?
I would recommend going there just to go there. Like if you're in the area, stop and take a couple pictures. If you're there for like Friday and Saturday, even stop and see Bobby Mackey perform himself, because he still performs every weekend.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I guess 10 p.m.s every Friday and Saturday, and I was a little bummed that I couldn't have seen him there because I would have loved to meet him. But yeah.
I would like to go see him. That'd be cool to pop in when he's there.
Oh, I would have talked his ear off the entire time.
Or ask him 5 billion questions. Someone has a question for you. Have you been to Pennhurst Asylum?
No, I have not, but that is definitely on the top of my list. I actually work in the special needs field. So asylums like Pennhurst and like Willowbrook and Letchworth Village, they all scream my name, and I am dying to go to them. It sounds like a little weird, but in like some kind of like past life, I feel as if these asylums called to me in some way. I don't know if I was like a worker there or like a patient or whatever in this past life, but I have never been more drawn to asylums.
Me too.
Just the mental health field, the special needs field. Like I want to know everything about these buildings. I want to know every story. I want to know this and that, and
about each patient and why they were there. Yeah,
I could just live in them, and I think that's why Rolling Hills is like also one of my favorites, because it's kind of like the same thing. It's just like a big poorhouse that they threw all these people in, like tossed them away from society, and just told them to like have a new life out here.
And they just kind of left them there to be forgotten. Possibly some of them were probably just forgotten there.
Yeah. They have some of the most tragic histories, and like you don't want, like, I know like some people don't want to like rehash like really tragic histories, but like these are stories that like can't be forgotten ever, as shitty as they are.
True.
Hey Jeff, how are you? And I want to try to go to Gettysburg, Adam says.
Oh,
I want to go there
Gettysburg is also a good one. I haven't been there, but my friend Missy, she's been there quite a few times, and I'm a little jealous.
Gettysburg, yeah, me too. I want to go there. And Jeremy said, "Love Waverly. We're going there at the end of the month. A bunch of people from Paranormal United Network are going there at the end of the month.
Ooh, you guys are gonna have so much fun. We're
Big
already
group.
planning like a November trip if we can, and like 2 trips next year. We're
Mm-hmm.
like in this.
So when you investigate, what's your like your favorite piece of equipment to use?
I was
You
going
got
to
some
ask that
go-to?
next.
Yeah.
My favorite piece of equipment is probably besides myself. I would say the spirit box. I personally love doing the Estes method. If you guys ever did that before,
Yeah, we do it all the time,
Yeah,
actually.
yep.
yeah, I do it every investigation.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
before I
love
knew what it
it.
was called,
Oh my god, I love it.
I
I
didn't know
will
what it was
I will
called.
sit there for hours just listening to the white noise and not knowing whatever is going on around me.
Yeah, yeah, we do it. That's one of our, I guess, signature things that we do on our investigations. Mm.
I
Yeah.
actually did one tonight too at the residential, and the girl that
Ooh.
lived there helped me. She had never done one, and she didn't know what it was or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
She helped me out.
I yeah, I think it's one of like the coolest things you can do, especially like because you're taking someone's senses and they're just completely out of it. So
Yeah,
they have no idea. Like speaking from
Hmm.
experience of like going under, I have no idea what the hell is going on around me. So like you guys could just honestly be like gone and I would have no idea and I would just be sitting there shouting out whatever I hear.
yeah,
But
Uh huh.
it is like one of the coolest
They walk off and leave
experiments.
you in the. They're there in the other room, and they just leave you in there by yourself doing that because you're
Yep.
enjoying it so much. Why interrupt?
Oh yeah, there's I have a video on my phone. So I took 2 videos of myself while we were doing it, so I still have to go through all that footage. But
Hmm.
we did we did it up on the 5th floor with 3 of us under at the same time. And then
yeah,
it went down to 2 and it worked really weird. It sounded like we were having conversations with each other, that we were finishing each other's sentences, and
Yeah.
then there's one on my TikTok where someone says that they keep feeling as if someone's walking back and forth, and about 10 seconds later the person in the middle said that she feels a breeze past her, and not even like 10 seconds after her, there I am like, oh, is there a breeze somewhere, because I feel it on my right side.
And
Like
you
it was
couldn't
just
hear
boom
her
boom
say that
boom.
though.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because of that extra like spidey sense that kicks in when you take away your sight and you're in a pitch black place and you take away. I use noise cancellation headphones and stuff so that I can't get any garble or any interference with what
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing. And then Jason will ask the questions, and I literally have it turned up, and I'll squeeze it, and I'll just put my head down or I'll lean against the wall, and I like completely, like try to get it as much as like entranced as I can, so I don't even know what he's asking. And then we'll have him to write down, or the people that own the place to write down the answers or the questions and the answers, and go back and we'll be like, "Whoa, that's crazy! I can see how that answer matched up with that question." It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I really love doing them. I love being under it.
Hmm.
And I love like coming out of it, and I'm like, as
Me
soon as
too.
they pull me out, I'm always like, did it work? Did it work? Like
I
what
always
happened?
want
What
to go
happened?
back in. I don't ever want to come out. Does that make sense?
I
Like
always
I
get
would
so
stay there.
scared when they're tapping me out. Like there's
Yeah.
a video of me like legit screaming, like just out of pure like just being afraid, because I had no idea what was going on when they tapped me out.
We have some questions. I don't want to leave the audience out.
Oh, go for it.
Adam said, "Do you believe in past lives?" I think is what he said because I asked him if he did, or he asked if we study or we believe in past lives.
I do. I want to get mine read really bad. I just don't know. I got to do some research on like who's the best one to go to.
Yeah, I'm researching how to do that myself, like how to do past life readings. I'm not good enough yet to like be like I am the master of past life. No, but I want to be. Where are you guys going next for your next investigation? Is another question.
I'm going to the Shanley Hotel actually. Um,
Awesome.
I've never been there before, So I'm going with a whole bunch of fantastic people that I met on my little spooky Instagram, and we're gonna go have a ghost hunting party.
Awesome. I'm sure you'll share your findings afterwards.
Oh yeah, yeah. So all my findings will be on my Instagram. That's kind of like where I do all like my stuff as of right now.
Oh, Adam wants to know for all three of us where we're going. So me and Jason are going. Well, I know I'm going, and I hope he's going because I'm trying to get him to go to Waverly with the rest of the Paranormal United Network people that are going. I'm going to go. I've been just prepping
Do
Jason
it.
to
You'll
go.
have so much fun.
Yeah, and then we always have residential stuff to do. People reaching out to us, so we're
Yep.
always doing those things. But just trying to help everybody.
Speaking of, we'll probably go back to the residential place that I went to tonight because I need a second person. I mean, I had someone there with me, but they didn't come inside because I never go anywhere alone. So I had someone with me outside in the car just in case, But because it's not recommended, I wouldn't recommend anybody do a residential anything by themselves. Just because you don't know the neighborhood, especially if you don't know the neighborhood, I wouldn't go to the neighborhood by yourself because you never know. You could just be going there and it could be a little sweet little old lady, and you get out and you're walking to her door and you get mugged or something. I don't know. Anything could happen. A billion things could happen that I can think of. Adam said, "Would you be present during an exorcism?" I absolutely would, and I would participate probably if I could. Yep.
I would observe it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I deserve it. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't want to take partake in it. Hopefully one day I would never have to. But yeah, I would just love to be on the outskirts of that one.
I would like to learn how to do that, how to do those. I mean, I'm not like with the Vatican, but that's kind of on my bucket list, I guess. Have you been to the Bel Air house?
No, but I've heard so much about it. When I was doing this like Kentucky, Ohio tour that I was on, I was actually looking at places to stop, and the Bel Air house was going to be one of them, just to like take a couple pictures of the outside and stuff. But I didn't make it out there, so hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Someone says they see an orb near you, Courtney.
Near me.
An
Well,
orb.
I have my camera going, and then I also have a light ring, so it could be that.
Okay, you have a light ring. She has a light ring, Daryl. But if it moves or something, or it acts intelligent in its movement, then it might be an orb.
Ooh, it could be. Could be the little doctor friend hanging around.
Yeah.
the new admirer that you have. I would observe. Sydney says it's probably a smart decision, but I don't know. Like you said about the asylum thing, I feel like in a past life that I performed exorcisms, and ever since I was a little kid, I've been like really fascinated with demonic possession, demons, wanting to know how to identify them and wanting to know how to rid the world of them. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've always been fascinated with that.
No, that's super interesting because I always just like hear my side of like my past lives that I thought I'd have.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's always like really interesting to hear like what other people thought that they would have. So I never heard of that one before. So that was definitely pretty cool.
I feel like it's a goal of mine to get back into like, or either at least figure out why I feel like I've done that before. I would at least like to know why I feel like that. Jeff said he was a night watcher at the Bel Air house. Jeff used to work there.
Oh, that's cool. I always wanted to work at like a haunted place, or even like buy a haunted location and like redo it. But
to be the overnight watchman at a museum that was haunted, that'd be cool. Like Night at the Museum. Yeah. I guess it's not really haunted, but I mean, it's crazy. What were you going to say, Jason?
Well, I was just going to say that they say your birthmarks you have is where you were killed in your past lives at some point.
I did hear that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a birthmark, I actually have two. I have one that's on my neck, and I have one on my leg. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to me, but
Yeah, I also think if you dream that you die in your dream and you wake up and you have a mark there where you died in the dream, that's also like a past life recognition of death from another past life. Because I've heard people tell me that they've had dreams where they get killed and then they wake up and there's a mark actually there after they wake up from the dream where they got killed at.
Oh, I never had that before, so that's interesting.
It's kind of like a Freddy Krueger thing.
You're right?
Yeah. It would be a nightmare, probably. It would be scary. Yeah. Sydney says, I have one on my arm.
It's interesting.
That'd be kind of neat to wonder what it was caused by,
Yeah. I don't know. Mine looks like it's like the length of a sword blade. So I don't know.
I'm not sure what he said. I wanted to go next is to a picture house museum. Brilliant idea. What's a pic? I'm not sure what a picture house museum is. Kind of like a waxwork museum?
I don't know.
I have a birthmark on top of my head, Adam says.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. That couldn't be a good death. Well, any death is probably not good, but I mean,
it's odd if you think about it because some people don't have birthmarks at all, then other people do, and then
I have one actually at the nape of my neck, right underneath where my hair ends. That little part that dents inward right there.
Oh.
I have one there. It's a strawberry. Like whenever I would wash my hair, it turns bright red.
I think I have one on my foot, so I don't know what that means.
Everyone show us your birthmarks. No, don't. Keep your clothes on, please. He says, how are you doing, Adam and Jeff? What time is it? It's 9. All right. Some of the graveyards you've been to, you want to share about those? Because I was like kind of intrigued by the headstone photos that you posted.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, I grew up around a bunch of cemeteries when I was little. And so I have a German Catholic one near me. And then around that one, there's a bunch of Jewish ones too.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, like, every summer, the Hasidic Jews will come and clean it up. So you'll see, like, the buses of them come in from, like, the city, and they'll clean up the entire cemetery for, like, the couple days that they're out here. So that's pretty cool. When I was in Louisville, actually, I visited a couple cemeteries that were around my Airbnb. I went to St. Louis, and then I also went to Cave Hill. So Cave Hill is pretty much like a huge one. It's where Colonel Sanders is buried. So I have pictures of that gravestone. I got to hang out with the man, the myth, and the legend himself that day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting it. Everyone who went on the investigation with me to Waverly, we all ended up at Cave Hill Cemetery, at least like 5 minutes apart from each other. So, like, one person would be posting pictures of, like, Colonel Sanders' grave, and, like, someone would be texting, like, oh, my God, I was just right there. But, yeah, we went to that one. I almost got locked in that one because I didn't know the exit. So, almost spent a night in a cemetery.
Is Cave Hill Cemetery pretty paranormally well known?
I honestly, I do not know. I want to say that it is one of the haunted places in Louisville. I don't know, like, really any of the stories behind it. So I don't.
Is there like literally a big hill and there's a cave that goes through it?
Oh, no.
Is there? No, because there's a cemetery I saw on YouTube a few weeks ago, and a guy was doing an investigation there, and he told the back history behind it, but I couldn't remember the name of the cemetery, and there was actually a hill with a cave that went through it. So I thought that might have been it.
Oh, no. I mean, at least I didn't see one. But I did go to caves when I was in Kentucky. I went to Mammoth Caves, which is pretty cool. Have you guys ever been? No.
I haven't been to Kentucky.
So I went down there and I did the self-guided cave tour. So, like, you literally, like, can go wander around in this, like, cave, and there's, like, artifacts down there from when they got the soil and made gunpowder out of for the for the war. And then if you walk a little further back, there's actually old brick buildings that were the TB huts when Louisville and the Kentucky area ended up with the TB epidemic. They put some people in the caves thinking that the cave air will help them and help the infection in their lungs, but sadly it didn't work. So
They passed away there then, huh?
Yeah, so I went to go see that.
Huh.
Yeah, it
That's
was
pretty
pretty
neat.
cool. It was a little spooky too.
So, you just being recently there, how was the COVID restrictions and everything?
The COVID restrictions were pretty. I mean, they were pretty much just like anything else. Like you had to wear your mask. Like I wore my entire mask the entire time at Waverly. They encourage you to do so, but no one kind of like said anything about it. I mean, it wasn't like they were open, but they were also taking precautions, I guess you can say, if that makes sense.
Okay. Did you happen to, not paranormal related, but did you go to the baseball bat place there?
No. I had so much on my the little itinerary that I made myself that I don't even know how I scheduled sleep in. So but I would love to go back and like do all that fun stuff, like the horse race stuff and all the distillery tours, the baseball bat stuff.
Is there a baseball bat factory?
Yeah, that's where they make the
Yeah,
Louisville.
that's where
I would
Louisville
like to go
Slugger.
there. When he was asking that, I was like, Louisville Slugger. I like baseball. It's like really I don't know. It's like the only sport that I like really super like besides hockey. I don't really like a lot of other sports, but I like baseball.
Yeah, I completely forgot that they had a baseball team until I was driving around and I was like, oh, so that's what their stadiums are for.
Louisville Slugger. I like baseball bats too. I'm a big fan. I've always kept them near my bed and stuff, like before we're in Oklahoma, so a lot of people have a gun. But before I ever bought any guns, I always kept a baseball bat by my bed.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, just in case somebody tried to come in, or get me in my sleep. Doesn't work on ghosts, though. I tried it. No.
So when you go to these places, do you actually use any type of protection prayers or anything like that, or?
I have been trying to meditate beforehand. So the entire time when I was like in Cave Hill and St. Louis, I was just trying to like use like my little cemetery walk to clear my mind before going to the investigation and like getting my head in the right headspace. I also do take crystals with me, so I have been getting into that. I grabbed a whole bunch for the car ride, so I have like at least 7 crystals in the car to protect my car for when I'm driving.
I used to keep them in my car.
Yep. I have like some in my little coin compartment, and then there's one by my door handle. I forgot to bring those with me actually into like Bobby Mackey's and stuff. But I did bring clear quartz, amethyst, and labradorite into Waverly Hills. Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are like those are the main 3 I constantly have on me, or that I'm trying to like remember to keep on me. But yeah, I've just been slowly trying to get into this, and I kind of learned a little trick that I do. Whenever I leave, I like to rub my feet against just kind of like how you're wiping your feet off at a doormat, and I just say whatever stays here must remain here.
Someone told us that one time. Yeah, I've heard a suggestion of that from somebody. I can't remember who it was.
My friend Amy taught it to us at the Hinsdale house, and ever since then, I've just been trying to consciously remember to do it, because there's some times where I'll just walk out and be like, all right, let's go, see you later, and like not even think too much about it.
Well, that is how you got your admirer. No, I'm just kidding.
That's probably how.
What Chucky told you about.
Yeah, we do it. We have a protection prayer, and we use holy oil and holy water and stuff too. So we
make holy oil and holy water. I've made holy oil and holy water, and Jason has made holy water too. Yeah, it's good to have one.
Yeah, I just try to call in my spirit guides and
Yeah.
whoever's around, like my like spirits that I know who are around me. So just like, come on, come join us, have some fun tonight, protect me.
Yeah. And watch over me and everyone that's with me. I do that too. I usually call on several different specific ones. And when we're doing cleansings in houses, I'll call on specific ones or whatever to watch over the family after I leave and stay with them and keep them safe after we leave from doing the cleansing at their house or whatever.
Oh yeah, I have and I have a couple bundles of sage in my house, in Palo Santo. So I'll sage my room or sage wherever,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll do Palo Santo to help bring in like the good vibes and make it a little bit lighter. So
Plus, that smells good. Palo Santo does.
and it's not overpowering as sage is,
Yeah.
which I can burn Palo Santo for
Mhm.
hours and be completely okay with it.
Yeah. Have a relaxing, woodsy smell like outdoors or something. To me, I like that a lot. Yeah. And sometimes people don't really like sage. You can smoke somebody's house out with sage.
Oh yeah, I've lit it on, like, I've lit my bundle sometimes and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think it was that much. Like my entire room is encased with it.
We get any questions or anything, Rhonda?
Not right now. I'm asking if anyone wants a live reading, just in case, because it's 9:03. So if they do, I need to know. I already shuffled the cards before we started, though. Me and her were talking while I shuffled the cards, so they'd kind
That
of
is
already
very true.
reshuffled,
I've
so that
watched
I
it.
wouldn't have to. Yeah, and these kept popping out. Like I felt like I needed to ask tonight if someone needs a reading because these cards were like flying out. One of them flew on the floor. One of them flew over here across the desk, and I was like, I feel like somebody needs a message right now. I don't know who it is, but these just flew out. So I was like, maybe somebody that's on here needs a reading, or maybe somebody I know, like personally that I know,
Hmm.
needs to hear something.
How did you, can I ask, how did you get into tarot? Because I have a tarot deck that I've been like, what's the phrase? I just been like kind of pushing it to the side, left and right. Like, oh, like, but like I can't find a good way to like really get into it.
A good thing to do. The oldest deck that I have, which is the one that the cards were flying everywhere, that deck. When I shuffle it, that happens a lot with that deck. I've had it longer than any other deck. So being connected to that deck, I feel like is why those cards fly everywhere when I use that one. Um, it's supposed to be a good thing if you take them around with you in like your purse or your pocket of your jacket and stuff to connect to them to help you get started learning how to do tarot reading. But I've been doing it since I was in high school because my mom bought me a tarot deck when I was in like eighth or ninth grade. My first tarot deck and
Oh
palm reading
wow.
book. Yeah, and I started doing it then because I was kind of a nerd, I guess, and I was like sitting in my room and stuff and darkness. Not like
My mom passed her deck
creepily.
down to me, so I have hers, and it's wrapped in my great grandma's scarf, I believe.
Oh, that's neat.
So it's just hanging out by my bedside, and I look at it every once in a while, and I'll shuffle the cards, and I'm just like, I don't know how to read any of this.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get started on a tarot deck, but if you try an oracle deck, find one that you like the artwork of that connects with you, something that you really like and you feel like if I like fairies, I have a lot of fairy decks. Like if you like ghosts, they make haunted house decks. One that's called the
Oh,
house. It's called the tarot of the haunted house. You might look it up, or there's another one
that
called
might be
Haunted
something.
Mansion. Yeah, Haunted Mansion Tarot. Like something that you're interested in. I feel like if you connect to it, it's a lot easier to learn how to read it. But the oracle decks, I feel like, are a lot better. Oracle decks are easier to read. You do it intuitively. You don't have to know, oh, this is the swords and this is the hearts, or this is the swords and this is the wands and the pentacles and all that stuff. You don't have to know all that stuff with oracle decks. You just intuitively read them, mostly with your intuition or your feelings, kind of what you think that the card means, and the artwork on them has a lot to do with it too.
Gotcha. Thanks for the tip.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd just try a couple of different ones. Try an oracle deck that has some connection to you, or they have little bitty decks that are called like a star seed deck, or they have little words that says channel. You're a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. I do these at the end because they're real positive, and it always leaves a positive energy in the air on the reading or whatever. But these are just kind of like little affirmation cards.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they have decks of those too. So I was thinking about going ahead and doing one on you or Jason.
Yeah. Let's not do me. No.
I'll do you? No, you don't want one?
I'm good.
Are you afraid?
No, it's just I believe I'm my own plans.
Like, I always use a tarot deck when I do a reading, and I use an oracle deck. I'll draw 3 cards from the tarot, 3 from the oracle deck. They're confirmation for each of the tarot cards. And then, like I was saying, I'll draw like a star seed card or some kind of affirmation card from this deck. And even then, sometimes after that, I have some sticks. It's like a round container with sticks, and you pull them out and they say fortunes on them. And I'll add
Oh.
those in sometimes too, just to add like extra, or like add a pendulum reading at the end. Because I have a yes and a no card. And I'll do a pendulum reading for some people, and it'll go to yes or no. You could use, someone wanted to use, I have some dowsing rods. One of my friends wanted to do tarot readings with dowsing rods one time. Like put a yes and no. Oh,
Yeah.
she had a naughty deck. What does it say? Have you ever hold on, here's a question for you. It just popped up. Oh, Sydney wants a reading, but I'm going to read this question to you first. In your research, if you've ever came across a cemetery or on the property of Waverly.
I have not. Do I feel like there could be one there? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole property was like, I think they had a whole slew of buildings, and I want to say they had maybe like 8 buildings there or something, and out of the 8, there's only like a couple remaining. So out of the entire property, I would say that there could be like a little potter's field or like a little cemetery, but majority of the time I feel like the bodies have either left through the body chute and were claimed through the family and then buried elsewhere, with wherever the family wanted them to be buried, or they could have just been cremated or left for a potter's field. So I personally will say that I want to say that there is a cemetery there, but do not quote me because I haven't found one yet. But yeah, I feel like there could definitely be one there.
Jeremy says there is one there, but it's not talked about.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I feel like the cemeteries, like regarding like those types of places, are ones that are kind of like hush hush. Like there's nothing bad about it, and like it's sad that no one really wants to actually talk about it, especially in a place like Waverly when pretty much everyone just knows Waverly for the deaths of that place. So yeah, I mean, I think it's sad that no one wants to talk about it, but to each their own, I guess.
I'm shuffling and pulling cards for Sydney. I need like one of those like photos of me that has like 6 arms, or I have like 6 arms coming out, and I'm like, I'm answering internet questions. Oh, I'm shuffling cards. Oh, I'm cooking dinner. I don't know. I'm using some kind of paranormal equipment. Sydney, I'm doing a reading for you. I've already pulled all the cards. I have a couple of crystals here. I use selenite a lot and labradorite, and black tourmaline, smoky quartz, and regular quartz quite a bit for readings, or for, like you said, you take them with you when you go on investigations and stuff like that for energy cleansing or whatever, or clarity. I need a lot more crystals. There's so many crystals that I don't have that I want.
Oh, I know.
There's so
We
many of
have a
them.
little paranormal shop here in Buffalo. So if you're ever around here, there's a cool paranormal shop you can go to. I could literally spend hours in there just looking and touching all the crystals
Yeah.
and just seeing which one I want. I walked out with like 5 the one day, and I could have definitely walked out with at least like 5 more.
Really? You only bought 5? No.
I only bought 5, and I had a gift card, so I don't know what I was thinking, but
That's funny. You had a gift card? Oh my God.
I still have one too.
Temperance in reverse and the Tower in reverse. Also with reading cards, like if they come out upright, they have a certain meaning. If they come out like this, they have a reverse meaning, upside down. So we have Sydney. It says you're going to be making some new friends or forming some new relationships, or maybe you just have networked with some more people. What happened? Oh,
What you about?
I'm still here. I can still hear you, but
I'm
it's like
here.
someone hacked my computer or something. This is
Oh,
weird.
that's weird.
Paranormal activity. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. I don't know why I can hear you, but at the bottom. There. There. That is so weird. I did not touch anything, and it pulled up another window, and it pulled up Microsoft Works. And it was like someone was typing or something. I don't know. That's crazy. Did you send your admirer over here? Because I don't need his help with tarot card readings.
I don't know.
I
He
still
travels,
six
so
arms,
you
but I
never know
didn't
where
really
he's
mean
gonna
it.
be.
So,
Maybe you'll find
Sydney,
him at Waverly.
when we go there, I'll ask. I'll be like, "Do you know Courtney Eastman? Who's here that knows
Did you
Courtney?"
follow her home all the way to Buffalo?
Well, you could come back here and talk to us now. So you have a new network of friends, Sydney, or a new group of friends that you've made, probably in like a workplace or something like that. It's the lover's card, but it means new relationships, and it doesn't have to mean a boyfriend or anything like that. It can mean friends, because obviously you're going to love your new friends too, just as much. Temperance card in reverse and the Tower card in reverse. That is just so weird that it did that. It's never done that. I don't know why it did that. And these are all major arcana cards, so it's pretty strong energy. It's a pretty strong message for you, Sydney, because you got 3 major arcana cards. Number 14, I don't remember what all of them say because I have so many decks, and they're specialty cards. A lot of them are, so they don't even say the same thing. Temperance in reverse is clashing interests, oil and water, extremes, like maybe one end of a spectrum and versus another end of the spectrum. Maybe you've been going back and forth with some kind of idea, or you haven't been able to make some kind of decision, or you've been indecisive, or someone in your life that's close to you kind of is back and forth type of energy. It says practice moderation in some aspect of your life. You need to walk in the middle path. You don't have to go from one end or the other. You can like have a balanced harmony in the middle. You can walk down the middle path and nourish your spiritual wholeness. The Tower universe, the Tower usually talks about like a clashing or a crashing down of everything that you know, spiritual awakening, everything that you are used to coming down. But this is in reverse, so it's probably actually like you're building something up. You're making a new, some kind of big move in life, a new location. Life is becoming stale. You're refusing to change, fear of the unknown, avoiding a disaster, or denial. So it suggests that in chaos, you move toward the brightest light. Move toward the brightest light. I had these 4 cards that popped out when I was shuffling before we started. Me and Courtney were sitting here waiting on Jason. The man's supposed to be waiting on the woman, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
So they were definitely for Sydney.
Family harmony inner child, kindness, and awakening the true self popped out. So again, this affirms the tower moment. Awakening your true self. It said walk towards the brightest light. Meditate. Do some like white light meditation or some blue light or blue star meditation. Maybe your higher self is trying to speak to you about this back and forth type of energy. This back and forth type of energy says family harmony. So the family harmony card goes well with that one because it said that you needed to find a middle ground or a middle path, something harmonious, something balanced, something, like more stable. And it's suggesting that your family might help you do that, or maybe even your like soul tribe. Like if you live somewhere by yourself away from your family and you have like a community family or a work family. And the Lover's card, get in touch with your inner child, do things that make you feel happy or that are in the vibration of like an inner child energy, and also speak kindness, convey kindness to people. And that's how you'll pull in your soul tribe. And I guess that's how you'll also get along with these other people that it's talking about that you've networked with recently. Sydney? And then I'm going to get a starseed card, and I don't have any of the other stuff that I use. So palm reading books are cool to kind of learn too, Courtney. They're like more detail to me. They're
Oh
harder.
yeah.
It's easier to do the tarot and the oracle to me, but they're still cool once you learn how to do them. It's really neat. You can just walk up
Yeah,
and grab somebody's
palmistry has
hand.
always been super interesting to me. I've had a couple like videos like of it pop up on my TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool! I totally want to learn this." And then like I'd scroll past something else and get distracted by it. But yeah, I definitely do want to look into that.
The squirrel, the squirrel energy. Maybe a squirrel is your spirit animal. Maybe it is. There's a place in the world for every animal, even a squirrel. Right.
That's so true.
Your card for a positive like affirmation or a thought to ponder or whatever, or something, to kind of like stay in the vibration of Sydney is raise your vibration of the planet through your radiant loving light, which is funny because in the last card you had it said go towards the brightest light. So maybe you are the brightest light, and maybe some people might make you doubt yourself with that back and forth kind of energy, but it's affirming that you are the brightest light and that you actually raise the vibration of those around you and your friends and your family and your coworkers and anybody else that you meet. You're going to raise the vibration of them with your own radiant loving light. So love yourself also. Make sure you take care of yourself. Remind yourself who you truly are, even if some people pull you in all different directions with that chaotic kind of like back and forth energy. So do you ever do pendulum work or anything like that, Courtney?
No. The most I've dabbled in is probably dowsing rods. So I've done dowsing rods like a handful of times. Like I have my own pair. But with like the Estes method and like all the other instruments that we have out there, the dowsing rods kind of like fall by the wayside half the time. So I have to try to get back more into that. But
does anybody collect ghost books?
I have a few. I actually picked a couple up when I was in Kentucky. The Art of Mediumship, and then another old Haunted Houses book.
I've got.
This is funny. She got the Lover's card and she said she just got a divorce. I'm like almost like my jaw's about to drop. I am like, what the blankety blank stuff I can't say on here? Are you kidding me? I didn't see that, and I just now saw it, and it says she feels like she's never going to be ready to be in a new relationship. That whole reading was about that then. I didn't even know that because I was thinking maybe it was talking about friendships or something. I didn't know that you had just went through that. But then it was suggesting that if you connect with things that make you happy and you stay in that vibration, that's how you're going to pull a true match for yourself. Y'all go ahead. If y'all are saying something, I'm going to pull her one more card from a different deck that I didn't use.
So, what's your future plans? What do you got going on?
What I have going on as of right now, this weekend I will be heading out to the Saratoga County Homestead out in Middle Grove, New York. My friend Steve is the property manager, so we're gonna clean it up for a little bit. and then hopefully we might investigate out that way. And then at the end of the month, I will be at the Shanley Hotel for the very first time, investigating with some awesome people. And then the day after that, I will be speaking at the Alfred State Paracon. So I kind of got a little busy month ahead of me, but
That sounds
I'm
cool.
here for it.
That sounds really cool.
It should be interesting
Yeah.
speaking at the Paracon thing.
Yeah. I had no idea what was going to happen with it. So
This card looks like your naughty card you were asking for, and I'm not going to say what it looks like to me, but it could be interpreted as you resonate with it. But it's called the Violet Flame card, Sydney, and this is the final card I wanted to pull for you because now knowing that what you said after I pulled that Lover's card, I was like, well, duh. That's why you got the Lover's card. The Violet Flame card. If you look at the artwork that's on it, it's going to resonate with like a specific chakra that's represented by the color purple, but it also kind of has to do with, I'm going to say this word because it's not naughty, sexuality and femininity. You can tell by looking at it. It just looks like a feminine card. So it actually to me looks like someone is meditating. You know that feminine symbol of a female that people get tattooed sometimes, like right here on their, like under their bosom, and it's like the feminine symbol of a woman doing this or whatever, like that, in her body. Yes, that's what that card looks like. So it says if you're experiencing a dark, difficult time at some point or another in your life, and it may seem like it'll never end or never be better, which is kind of what she said, that she don't think she's ever going to be in another relationship. The Violet Flame card is telling you you're wrong. You're wrong, honey. The only way to conquer the shadows in our life is to turn on all of the lights. There's that light thing again. It's saying about her. And in your life, the shadow in our life is turn off the lights and face the darkness head on. And then when you come out on the other side, you're going to see the light. So maybe you're just going through a transition in your life, like an awakening. A spiritual awakening has a dark part to it, where you kind of transmute a dark part of your life into a more gray area, and then it comes out into a more light or white area, or a white energy. It's purification. The violet flame shines its light, providing you with the way of means to see your way out of that darkness. And in the center of this image is a bat, which symbolizes change, I think. Right? It says a bat. In animal medicine, the bat is a symbol of change. Yeah, I love bats. They're probably one of my favorite animals. They symbolize change, and it holds a violet flame for you, which is guiding you through the process of change in your life right now. Like an upheaval or a propelling of energy is probably what you're going to feel, to run towards other things that are going to call towards you because you're going to be ascended now, since you're probably going to be on a different path. Change is an inevitable part of this process, and it's nearly complete, sweet soul. So just know that once you've made your way through, you're going to be stronger in yourself and on your journey, and you'll have more clarity about your path and how you want to walk it. Bam! So you'll probably be having people jumping on your path trying to distract you, guys, aka, dating prospects. But stay on your path and don't get distracted and go towards what you feel like your true calling is. Just saying that. I'm not down in guys, or I'm not down in men or anything like that. I'm not saying don't date. I'm just saying stay on your true path.
Oh, that sounded like such a good reading.
I know it kept talking about lights on three or four cards, at least three cards that I can think of. It was talking about a light on one of the tarot cards, a light on one of the oracle cards, and a light on that very last card that I drew. This one. And bats, which is awesome because I love bats.
Perfect.
They said Batman. It almost looks like a majestic alien. It does, Jeremy. It's funny. She said, go away, man. We have about 4 minutes left, so I don't necessarily have time for any more readings. But if anyone has any questions, go ahead and send them. And if they don't, then I think Courtney's being inspired to learn how to do tarot card readings. Because it makes people really happy. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love getting my cards read. If I could have them read every single day, I would.
If I could do readings every single day, I would. I wish I could do it for a living. I really do. Where we live at, it's not a super big thing. Like, I mean, I guess you could make it a big thing, but it's not super popular where we live. It's starting to get popular right now, just, in the last few months, but it hasn't always been popular here.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that.
We live in a very, not, what is the word? Not cultured area. Not very cultured area. I'll probably get persecuted for that, but I'm being honest. He said, I like this deck of cards. Which deck, Jeremy? The one that had the really pretty card at the end? That deck, by the way, is probably one of my favorite, and this lady is cool. She has 3 different decks for sale. She goes on, you can go and look at her on YouTube, and she's called the Tarot Mama.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this is
Definitely
one
will
of her
remember
decks.
that.
Her name is Cheryl Lee Harnish. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Oh.
She made 3 decks. She goes in the computer and puts these formulas in. It's called fractal art, and it makes all of the images on these cards. Like, they're really awesome looking cards.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. It's like some of them, like all different kinds of images. Like, I think they're awesome looking.
It looks like those ink spots things those
They
therapists
do
make.
kind of, or they look like a flag that you put in your room if you like tripping out or something like that. You get from a New Age shop, which I always liked that kind of art, anyways. And everyone in high school always thought I was messed up, even though I wasn't. They were like, "You have to be messed up," and I was like, "I
It's
promise
New
I'm
Age
not."
ink blots.
Huh? Yeah. But that deck's called The Return of Spirit, and she has 2 other decks. I can't remember what they're called, but Cheryl Lee Harnish, look her up on YouTube. She does amazing, amazing readings. A beautiful energy. And if you feel yucky or heavy energy and you go get one of her readings, you'll feel a lot better afterwards. It's almost like meditating. But yeah. She has cool artwork. Go ahead.
Where can everybody find your stuff at and follow you?
So, if you guys want to follow me on all my little spooky adventures, like I said, this week I'm talking about Bobby Mackey's. You can follow me on Instagram at The Ghoul Guide. I have it written on my name, but it's spelled TheGhoulGuide. That's also my TikTok handle, which I have a few videos on there. There's actually a couple Estes message clips from Waverly on my TikTok. So if you want to look at that, you're more than welcome to. And as of right now, those are my 2 major things. But hopefully come the end of spring and summer, I'll be on to some awesome things and can actually get a blog together and see where the spooky little new path of life is going to take me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're pacing yourself with quite a few projects.
Yeah, it's all about trying to get as much stuff or content that I can right now so that I can write this blog and have the time to sit down and actually have things to post day to day instead of going out there and kind of hoping for the best.
Right.
I was laughing at their comments. I wasn't laughing at you, I promise.
Oh no, it's okay.
It's like being in a classroom and you're at the front of the room and there's a bunch of kids in the room and you're like, stop throwing paper airplanes. Stop picking your nose, Billy. Pay attention, Joe. I love it, though. I love it so much. I love it. Sydney said, Courtney, if you come to Texas, look her up. You can go to the Goatman's Bridge with her.
Oh, my God. I would love to. Yes. I'm going to try to go to Vegas after the school year ends because I get a little 2 weeks off before my summer program starts. So I'm probably going to be looking to travel then. Fully vaccinated, ready to go.
Yeah. And hopefully more, comfortable and more safe traveling. Like more people will be traveling then and more people have gotten their, shots and stuff.
So
And it'll be
I
safer
will
to travel.
definitely look you up to go to Goatsman Bridge. That would be so much fun.
And Adam said, is anybody afraid to die with believing in the afterlife? Oh, we're over time. We're out of time. It's 9:31.
We'll have to leave you hanging on that one.
Yeah, but everyone, thanks for joining us. And I enjoyed doing the tarot card reading. Every time I do it, it's like a drug, and I want to do 20 of them. So next time, I'll have to make one show where I just do readings, I think, for the whole hour and a half. But everyone, thanks for joining. Courtney, thank you for being on our show. We enjoyed
Thank you
talking
for having
to
me.
you. Yes, it was very much fun. And maybe in the future, after you go on all these other endeavors this summer, maybe you can do another show
I would
in the
love
fall.
to.
You want to come on again in the fall?
I would love to.
Yeah, and then you have a lot more experiences to talk about and
That's
to
true.
tell everybody. Everyone, have a good night and keep it creepy. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining. Bye.
Bye.